some ideas of implementation, as well as activities that you can do with this book. It's a great resource. We have enjoyed reading it, and I think you guys will be very glad that you got an opportunity to get this book for free.
And another technology coordinator that stepped up to the plate, Daniel Richards.
How you doing? Good, how are you?
Doing well.
Enjoying TechFest?
So far.
Yeah, how about all of you? Enjoying TechFest? Doing good too? Yeah? It's good, right? Learning a lot? Yeah? Well, today, Allison and I are up here to talk to you a little bit about a couple of app suites that are available to you right now. We have
open up your interface. It's going to take you straight to your documents. Up on top, you still have the ability to create files, to put your folders, be able to put your files in. But you also have the spot for just loose files. Google is different because you'll click on the waffle right up here, and that will drop down all of your applications. A little bit different than Office 365.
Absolutely. In order to access your documents in Office 365, all you need to do
from the
is
startup, they're going to win this round.
Hey, Amy, can you put a point up there for Office 365? Or as I like to call it, the right choice?
We'll see. Applications are going to have this
So to begin with, let's talk about the
You can
programs.
instantly share both documents with classmates, with colleagues, anybody within the district. You can share a document. They can then log in and edit instantly. One of the great bonuses of both programs is that you can have multiple users on a document at the same time. So they can be going in and collaborating, sharing ideas, responding to one another's ideas. Part of the problem is they both lack the ability to manipulate tables and charts once they're in.
Absolutely. And for that reason, because they serve the same functionality, they're both fairly user-friendly, we're going to go ahead and give a point to both. I like the bell. But isn't she supposed to smile every time that dance?
Thanks, Jose, wherever you're at. All right, moving into spreadsheets. Google Sheets is the version of spreadsheets. You can use this for basically just creating charts, graphs, lists. It has basic formulas. It's really very simple to use.
Absolutely. And Google Sheets does look good, but let's face it. Microsoft Excel is still an industry standard. It's
All right, moving on to Google Forms.
Have you ever needed to create a quick survey, get information from your staff, from your students, but sometimes making those paper surveys is a little bit difficult. Yeah, sometimes getting a mic to work is a little difficult as well, right?
However, you have the option to choose your themes, which just makes it prettier. Prettier is better, right?
Yeah, it can be.
Right. So you also have way more question options. You can ask for checkboxes. You can allow them to choose from a list. You can ask for short questions or short text answers, paragraph answers. The options really are limitless when it comes to creating a survey on Google Forms. Can you ask anybody to rate something from 1 to 10, like how your beard's looking these days? Can you do that over there? No, so you can't, because it's a 1 to 10.
Yeah.
Okay. So again, Google Forms gives you way more options with this one. You can even create quizzes for your classroom. You can put in your questions. You can have them do multiple choice. You can have them do the short answers. The best part about Google, just saying, is that you can then go into the add-on store and you can add on an additional app, and it will allow you to upload a rubric. It will allow you to upload the answers, and so it can actually grade your quiz for you instantly. Can you do that?
Well, it looks like Google can do something right after all.
It's true. I'll take that point. Google Slides is your online version to be able to create presentations. With Common Core, we are all expecting our students to create presentations at a fairly early age. Sometimes they're collaboratively, sometimes they're independently. Google Slides allows students to log into one presentation and edit instantaneously. That means that they're going to be able to see what that person sitting across from them is doing. It's going to pop up with a little colorful flag. Sometimes it will show their name if they're logged in. You can even have them collaborate across the school, across the district, across the country, it doesn't matter. Once you share that document, anybody can get into it and you can edit at the same time. This guy has a few extra steps. You can do it, but it's not as easy.
You
Hold
know,
on. You can also add YouTube videos into Google Slides. Doesn't work over there. Sorry.
and
On some sort of presentation, and they need to work on it together. Google Docs or Google Slides is going to be your best option. If you're creating something as a teacher to distribute and present as a professional or to your students, you're going to have a whole lot more options in PowerPoint. So that really is, they both have their benefits.
absolutely. If your presentation is going to be very content rich, with video clips and sounds
Google
and things like
Classroom's
that.
better, sorry.
Okay.
So with this, you have all the same components. You can push out a discussion board, and you can ask your students to respond. And this has so many options within it. You can put out a discussion board, ask for your kids to respond, and then not allow them to see anybody else's answers until they've responded to somebody. So they can put in their response, and then they have to go and reply, share their thoughts and opinions on somebody else's response. I agree, I disagree. You can do the same thing. You can push out assignments. You can collect assignments. One of the great things that Google does that guy doesn't is you can push out one document to all of your students and it's already created as their own copy. If you were to push out an assignment here, your students would have to download it and then save it, and then it would be theirs. In Google Classroom, you can push it out, it's already theirs, and then it again syncs to their drive, so they're not having to download and save. Google Classroom truly just creates an online learning environment. You can embed videos into it, you can do assignments, you can put in those Google Forms that create the great quizzes, and then add the add-on that can grade it for you right then and there. So again, Google Classroom is well above and beyond as the winner here. Sorry.
All right, go get your point.
Google Scholar. Remember, you can't office it, so you have to Google it.
Yeah.
Google Scholar is very similar to your typical Google search bar, except this will only pull academic journals, articles, research papers. You can search for an author's name, you can search a concept or a content area that you're looking for, and it will populate a list based on what you've searched for, and it's going to list it in order of, what is the word I'm looking for?
Relevance?
Thank you. Lost it for a second. It's going to list it in order of relevance, and then once you click on that, it will show you other options that are related to what you've searched. So if you're doing a research report, this is going to be a huge tool for your students because they're able to pull up multiple media formats through one search.
Yeah, you know, I might even let my students use that. Might.
So I'll take that point over there. Don't forget.
Does it have a video?
I'm assuming, you know what, I can't answer that question. I don't know. Google Translate. We all have students in our classrooms who may speak a different language than us. It's not our home language. So if you have something, a note that you need to send home, you can very quickly type it straight into Google Translate. Up here, there's over 280 available languages to choose from. My favorite part about Google Translate is you can click right here on Translate a document. So if you've got a parent letter, your back to school letter, anything like that that you need to send home, you can upload the entire document and it will translate it while keeping the formatting. Now, you have to remember, Google Translate is not a perfect translation, but it does the job. Do you have anything? No, you don't. That's okay. Thank you. Wait, please.
Well, you know, Google
That's
Scholar.
run by Google.
Translate.
So they're not even going to have that option.
Yeah. Good thing the teachers are using Chromebooks. Oh wait, no, they're not. And I'm gonna go ahead and take a point there.
All right, so in the end, what it comes down to is it's teacher choice. It depends on what you're going to be using the programs for and what your outcome is. If you're going to be doing something that's very collaborative, it's very student-centered, Google is your option.
Absolutely, but again, when you want those very content-rich documents, or you need to leverage the power of Excel for those complex formulas and equations, Office 365 is going to have Google beat. So what it really comes down to is the task at hand. What you're probably going to find is that you're going to end up using both application suites. More often than not with your students, you'll probably be opting for Google.
As a teacher personally, I prefer to use Office 365. Since we've been piloting the Chromebooks, I see the true value in Google.
Absolutely. As we move into a one-to-one environment in all of our schools over the next couple of years, your students are going to need to be well-versed in multiple platforms. They're going to need to use the Google Apps for Education when they're using their Chromebooks. They're going to need to be able to use Office 365.
Parents now be a little bit more curious to go in and to explore both programs and really make their own decision.
Absolutely. Thanks for coming today.
It's time for lunch and more prizes.
Enjoy lunch and prizes.